So I've been making an entourage of these ceramic latte cups, and for whatever reason, the process of making these cups kind of put me on the verge of a nervous breakdown, so if you want to see what that looks like, then I guess keep watching. The beginning of making these cups was unassuming. I started off by weighing out about 36 balls of 12 ounces of clay, and then I wedged them out to prepare them to be thrown on the wheel. And then when I actually sat down on the wheel is when my agitation began. I am a huge perfectionist when it comes to consistency on my throwing, and on this day, I could not make my hands produce what they were supposed to. I was using this cup that I had made before as a reference, and I was like, the curvature is wrong, the thickness is wrong. I know it looks fine on camera, but my neuroses was not standing for this, and I kept fiddling with the thing until I attacked it, violently. I then attempted to make this cup several more times, and every time I got further and further away from my extremely particular vision for this perfect cup. I've made these before, but I guess on this day my hands just did not want to do this. Or maybe I was just being picky, and a touch neurotic. Either way, I moved on to a different shape of cup that felt a little more comfortable to me. The main thing I was struggling to keep consistent with those cups was the curve of the walls. So for these cups I decided to go with no curve, and I made them a shorter, wider shape with a straight edge for a wall that's just slightly tapered inward. So I made a few of these until I felt a bit more confident in myself, and then I decided to go home before I punched a hole in the wall, and then I came back the next day to make the bulk of the pots. And the next day was a lot more pleasant. I sat down at the wheel, and the first cup that I made I was perfectly content with. I'm imagining these to be small little cups for espresso-based drinks like a latte or an americano or a cappuccino if you're feeling frivolous. Once I finally felt like my cup was perfect, I pulled out my throwing gauge and set the pointer to the rim of the pot. This allows me to throw with a lot of consistency because the next time that I make a pot, I can just pull the clay up to that pointer. So I made 30 more of these cups, and then once they had dried overnight to leather hard, they pop off the bat, and then they're ready for trimming. This allows me to access the bottom of the pot to cut away all of the rough edges, carve a foot into it, and stamp my name into it. I also made the executive decision to practice pulling handles on some of these, which I don't do often because I hate doing it. It was actually one of my New Year's resolutions to get over my hatred of pulling handles, and I'm kind of down to the wire here, but hey, I tried. Then all of the regular cups went into the kiln for their bisque firing, which removes all of the moisture and prepares them for glazing. These are pretty quick for me to glaze. I just pour the glaze into the cup and dump it out while spinning to coat the inside, then dump it into the glaze bucket to coat the outside. Then they went into the kiln for their glaze firing, and I did them in white and this nutmeg color and also a raspberry. I especially love the way the glaze drips down from the rim of the pot on the nutmeg and the raspberry. Then I used this diamond sanding pad to get rid of any of the roughness on the bottom. Then I wrapped these up and packaged them because they all sold out as part of my last online shop update, and they're all on their way to new homes as long as USPS doesn't run them over with a truck. Yes, we have beef.